Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? How's it going? Marcos Villegas here. Fight Up TV live chat. The last live chat of this just horrendous, terrible, stupid ass year that we've all gone through in 2020. So, thank you guys for tuning in. And for those of you that are going to tune in, um, man, what a freaking year, right? What a freaking year this 2020 has been. Oh man, I just keep thinking, what's up, Utah? What up, bro? Jake, Pain for All, NJAP, NJMP, Love 8, One Boxing King, Jose, Sammy. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Paul Newman, what up, my man? Yeah, dude, like, it's just crazy how, like, we started out the year, okay? Braden, what's up, bro? And we're living through an interesting time in history. So when we have kids, some of us do have kids, when we have grandkids, they're all going to ask us about this year and what we've lived through, what we did, what we experienced, and most importantly, how we grew from this 2020. What's up, Josue? What's up, Samuel? And it really is, what you did with the time that you had in this year in order to grow. Obviously, we started doing this live chat, very early on in the pandemic, and it's been a good thing. I've been able to connect with you guys. Some Solution, MMA with Friends, what's up? I've been able to connect with you guys, have a dialogue with you guys, create a community with you guys, which is awesome, which is something that I've always wanted. So what's up, Big Gal 777, Lucky Sevens there. It's been a good thing, and I think whenever we're faced with something difficult or a roadblock, there's obviously it sucks and you got to digest it all in. But I always have been of the thought process since I was very young, since I was in college, actually, where, it was in college where I formed a lot of my approaches towards life and a lot of my attitudes towards life and problems. And you always got to look at the positive of a negative situation, and you always got to look at a negative situation and see, okay, where can I grow from this? Where can I improve from this? How am I going to flip this situation so that it ends up being better for me or benefiting me in some way? When this pandemic started, man, we were supposed to have a fight for Fox in Washington, D.C. with James Kirkland, who fought over the weekend, by the way, got knocked out one round. If you were betting on that fight, man, that was your fight to make some money right there against the nephew of Fernando Montiel, who knocked out James Kirkland. I think knocked him down 3 times in that fight. That's some money. I could have told you guys that dude was gonna beat Kirkland, because Kirkland hasn't been the same since forever. And he honestly should hang up the gloves. But I remember sitting at a bar, Chinese food. It's like a Chinese food restaurant bar. When I had a friend from Australia who's a doctor, and she told me, like, dude, this is gonna mess up a lot of things. Like, you better get out of Washington, D.C. You better take it seriously. And go back to California. What's up, Art? And I just kind of sat there, ordered another drink, and first thought was, I can't believe this issue is real. There's no freaking way. Like, this is just like the movies. Like, what the hell? And the other thing is, like, well, how are you gonna improve from this? And I made a decision right then and there, like, whatever happens, however this disrupts my business, however this disrupts boxing, I have to come out of this better. I got to find the silver lining in everything. And I did. I wanted to be productive during this time. I knew that if I stayed idle, if I stayed just chilling and not doing anything, I'd go nuts. I'd go crazy. My mental health would be really bad. So I got back in shape. I started exercising, and I started just working on projects. And I found like the more busy I was with stuff that I needed to get done, or just learning new things, the less those negative thoughts crept into my mind. And there was a few times that I had, some bad weeks. Not to mention, with all the stuff that happened with George Floyd and all the protests and all that, I had some really bad weeks there. But for the most part, things turned out well, and I attributed that to being productive and telling myself from the beginning, and making it a point from the beginning to be like, you know what, I'm coming out of this situation better than I was before. And I think as we get into 2021, I know a lot of people, a lot of you maybe even, have had bad years. Your money's got messed up because you can't work, haven't been able to see the family, haven't been able to see your friends. It's just a messed up situation just overall. This is not what we want, and not what we wanted our lives to be. But you always got to look at the positive of everything, and you got to see, well, what can I do to make things better, or how can I still come out on top of this situation? Because there's nothing we can do about this situation that we're in. So I would say, to you guys, going into 2021, 2021 might end up being a very crappy year still. Things might not get better still till maybe the end of 2021. But you got to look at it as, well, what can I do during this time that I have, even if it's a little bit extra time, to better myself and to come out of this situation on top, even if it means you guys learning new skills, enrolling in classes, but do something productive with that time and just better yourselves. That's all you can do with everything that's going on as well. So with that, I don't know, I was just listening to like music, and I was just thinking about like this year, and I was just like, man, this is the crappiest year ever. And I'm just like, we're living through like the most interesting time in history for us in a long, long time. Like, our kids are going to ask us about this crap. Our grandkids are going to ask us about this crap. We're going to look back, 30, 40 years from now and be like, man, like, remember that one time we lived through freaking COVID-19 and the mask and people tripping out over not wearing masks and all this bull crap and everything getting shut down and, the protests and all this stuff. And it's just like, man, what a time to be alive, guys. What a time to be alive. Ugh. But here's, it'll get better, guys. It's going to get better. 2021, it'll turn around. It'll turn around. So let's go and get to the boxing portion of stuff. Mr. Shelton, what's up, bro? Tell your friend Canelo to fight Charlo. Hey, bro. I'd love to see him fight Charlo, man. But it's looking like Envy Yildirim from Turkey is going to fight Canelo next in February in Guadalajara, Mexico. And then after that, Billy Sanders, because it looks like Canelo and Eddie Hearn are going to do some business. So that's going to be the next two fights for Canelo Alvarez, I believe, for Canelo, which is a bummer, honestly. Saunders makes sense because Saunders has the WBO title, and Canelo said that he wants to be undisputed at 168 pounds, that he wants to collect all the belts. So Saunders makes sense. Saunders is a world champion, and it's a tough fight. It's a hard fight given the style, the elusiveness, the defensive prowess of a Billy Sanders. Envy Yildirim, that fight sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, the fight sucks. Like, I saw Envy live against Anthony Durrell in Minnesota. And, he was giving Anthony Durrell a good fight, so that Canelo Yildirim fight will be a good fight as long as it lasts, because Yildirim is going to come at Canelo and he's going to come swinging. Problem is he's a little too over aggressive, and it's going to open him up for counter punches, and he's going to get eaten up alive by Canelo. And it's just who he is as a fighter. If we thought the Eubank knockout was bad. This one's going to be a lot worse. But he's the mandatory, so that's why the fight's happening. He had been the mandatory. He had been the mandatory for David Benavidez. He was supposed to fight David Benavidez, and then something happened. I don't remember. You guys might remember, but that's how we came to this Yildirim fight. He had maintained his status with the WBC. So it is what it is. February and in May, Yildirim in February, May, Billy Yo Saunders. But to me, that's a good fight. I like the Saunders fight. It's a hard fight, but obviously we'd want the Charlo fight with Jamal. Obviously, we want Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Obviously, we want Canelo versus David Benavidez. But I think how it's going to shake out is we're going to see David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, before we see that whoever wins that fight against Canelo. I think it makes it a bigger fight. And if I was the powers that be behind Plant and Benavidez, I would want for them to fight first to get to the Canelo fight, because I know it'd be bigger business for my guy, whoever wins, to have beaten either Caleb or David and go into that fight with Canelo Alvarez for undisputed. Because if he beats Billy Joe Saunders, it's only one more belt, the IBF, and you can push that and market that as an undisputed fight. So I think more or less that might be the way it shakes out, unless Charlo's able to get a fight with Canelo. And Charlo, I think he said on his Instagram live that he would move up to 168 pounds, because I don't really see Canelo moving to 160 anymore unless it's a really huge fight, even though he said it that he probably would for the Spence fight. If and I know that the Spence fight is just all talk right now at this point. Both fighters want it, but I still kind of feel that Canelo won't drop to 160, because campaigning at 168, he's going to eventually gain muscle that he's not going to be able to lose, and it's going to put him in a place where he's going to be at 168 pounds permanently as well. Benavidez lacks discipline, lost the belt to Coke, and on the scale, he will not beat Canelo because of those attributes. Jose Carrillo. Hey, Jose, David's still young, okay? He's still young. He still has another 10 years in the sport, so you can't count him out. We all make mistakes when we're young. We're all dumbasses when we were, kids, and I'm not saying David is a dumbass. I'm just saying in general, we all made some dumbass mistakes when we were growing up. So you have a point with what happened, but just because of that doesn't mean that David's not dedicated. He's in camp right now in Big Bear. He didn't get to spend Christmas with his kid, his newborn, because he's in camp because he has a fight coming up. So that's dedication right there. You're not, you wouldn't do that if you're not dedicated, and he's dedicated. He wants to get back to the top, and that to me at least shows that he's dedicated. All right, we got our first super chat. What's up, man? Thank you. If you guys want to go ahead and smash that super chat, have a direct dialogue with me, just want to say something, you want to support the channel, go ahead and use the super chat like Miguel Delgado just did. Miguel, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that. Everybody, if you can go ahead and press the like on this, share the stream as well. If this is your first time listening, subscribe to the channel as well. But let's get some more likes, bros. Let's get some more likes on this. Miguel Delgado. Marcos, keep up the good work, man. Always enjoy these lives. Question. Campbell, Luke Campbell, he's referring to, is a plus 200 favorite. Would you put $100 on him? I'm thinking about it. What do you think? I actually think that's a good bet. That's a good bet. But I would say maybe the over-under on if it goes a full 12 rounds, if it doesn't go a full 12 rounds, might be a little bit better. I'm not an odds expert, okay? But I think this fight has a chance of going the distance. But that plus 200 is actually, if you have the $100 and it's not going to kill you at night, losing the $100, I would put the bet on that. Just, it's a good bet because this is even though a lot of people expect Ryan to win this fight because he's younger, he's quicker, he's more explosive. Luke's lost all his big fights. He's been in there with smaller guys and has gotten his, gotten L's. In Lomachenko, Linares knocked him down. He has trouble with speed. Look at the speed of Linares. What happened in that fight? He wasn't knocked out by Lomachenko. He wasn't knocked out by Linares. He started coming back in the Linares fight. Both guys, obviously, vastly more experienced than Ryan. Both guys, multiple division world champions. It's a good bet. Luke Campbell has a lot of experience. That's a really good bet. That's a value bet. I don't think it shouldn't be a walk in the park for Ryan. This should be, a fairly good challenge for Ryan. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Luke's able to pull it off just because, he's a little taller, a little rangier. The thing that worries me is the speed, obviously. There's a big speed discrepancy. And the southpaws in general, I'm a southpaw, we get hit by hooks, man. And that's Ryan's money punch is the hook. He knows this. He's going to be looking to land this right away. But Campbell's a real stern test, and he's been in there with the best. And if Ryan's not everything that we think he is, he's going to give him a handful. So I actually think that's a really good bet. And I would bet 100, to be honest. I would, I would do it. I think that's a good value bet. Fight of the year for edging out a guy 2 weight classes lighter. Alonzo says, but you forget, he's been at that weight class and he's been beating guys at 135 pounds. So if you're in the weight class, you're competing in the weight class, and you're beating guys that are 135 pounds, like a Luke Campbell, like a Jorge Linares, then what's the problem? It doesn't matter if it's a smaller guy. He's competing at 135 and he's beating people. So that says more about him than anything than Lomachenko. But you can't hold it against Teofimo. Retired Hunter Jakey. What's up, bro? I like your little emoji there. Whatever it is. That's the YouTube monkey emoji. Canelo is a small guy. JamHold88 says, no, he's not a small guy. He might be short, but you haven't seen Canelo in person. This guy is a stocky guy. He has big old freaking thighs. He's built. He's a solid Mexican tank. This guy's big. Canelo's not a small guy. Guy has really dense bones. What are you talking about, bro? There are guys at 160 right now who are bigger than him. Yeah, obviously there is. Canelo's a short guy, but he's thick. He's a big dude. He wants to fight at 168 for his advantages like speed. Yeah, but he's still a smaller guy compared to these 168 pounders. It's a very dangerous risk for him fighting at 168. Canelo fighter of the year, please. Nah, dog. How many fights did Canelo have this year? Just one against a Callum Smith. It was a good win. Callum Smith, number one, by the ring, not by me, to be honest. I got a lot of flack about that, saying that I didn't think Callum Smith was number one at 168 pounds, but he won the tournament that had nobody in it. Honestly, George Groves, guy was already on his way out. Skoglund, what has he done since? What did he do before? Now it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I personally rated Benavidez and Plant higher than Callum Smith. But Teofimo, fighter of the year, according to the ring, co-fighter of the year with Tyson Fury as well. I think Teo, and I'll get to that, Yair. I'll get to on Eddie. Hold on a second. I just got an interesting thing. Marcos, I was on so-and-so's live the other day, and I told the chat he blocked you on Twitter, and then he blocked me. When can we get that fight with Morrell Lopez as the ref? I'm sure Morrell Lopez is going to want to put some hands on him. He was saying some things about Morrell Lopez on Twitter a few years back, calling him out for a fight, which I'm like, come on, bro, really? Morrell Lopez? The guy's a strong guy. He has a right hand. They call him Bazooka. I heard him at the gym at the Wild Card. That's funny that he blocked you, though. That's hilarious that he blocked you. Bro, a lot of people got egos, dog. That's what it is. A lot of people got egos. A lot of people got egos in this game. Not only the boxers, but a lot of the people that work in the industry as well have huge egos as well. So, yeah, now I lost track. Okay, to me, trainer of the year. Okay, back to the fighter of the year. What's up, Raheem from Baltimore? What up, man? Baltimore, what's up? Miguel, what up, what up, what up? what could possibly be next for Pac-Man? I missed that guy. Thank you for reminding me. I actually texted their team for an interview. I need to follow up on that because I need to interview Manny and JMP. Who thicker than Canelo? Who's thicker, Canelo or his trainer? For sure, Eddie is thicker. Eddie's been hitting up them tortas lately. That's what Eddie's been doing. Eating all them tortas and tamales. Jesus. Alex, what's up, bro? Y'all ain't seen that episode of Saved by the Bell where he slips the right hand and lays the dude out. No, I haven't. But hey, man, that'd be hilarious. But I got blocked from Cheeseburger Nation. You guys are hilarious. Okay, back to the fight of the year. All right, who do we all have as fight of the year? I want to hear your put on the comments who you guys have fight of the year. Obviously, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Okay, you're gonna think I'm crazy. Before he had lost, my front runner for fight of the year was Clay Collard, Clay-Nello, Cassius Clay Collard, because I thought that he had done more than anybody else in the year. Was put into fights that he wasn't supposed to win, got upset after upset after upset over blue chip undefeated prospects. So he was my leading contender for fight of the year until he lost a few weeks back. That made me go back to what I thought was logical. I'm seeing a Charlo there, which I think Charlo is a very overlooked fight of the year candidate. And he has a claim, but I think Teofimo's win was a lot bigger because Charlo was seen as the favorite coming in to his fight with Jason Rosario. Even though the odds-wise was a little close, he was seen as the overwhelming favorite. If you were to ask any of you guys, if we were to be like, yo, is Charlo going to win this fight? We would probably 9 times out of 10 or 9 out of 10 of us would be like, yeah, Charlo should win this fight with Jason Rosario. And that's another good point there. No one should be fighter of the year. No one did ish. Very true. But Teofimo did do something, okay? Teofimo beat the guy that was perceived by many to be unbeatable at this stage of his career, okay? He beat the guy that we didn't think he'd be able to beat and that we thought that he wouldn't be able to compete, that he would get blown out by. He beat a guy that he wasn't on the odds supposed to win, and that he did it at 23, at a time where his contemporaries, like Ryan Garcia, like Devin Haney, like Tank Davis, aren't taking the biggest challenges consistently. And I got to be careful here with what I say because obviously, you know, I don't want to get anybody angry because I like all those guys. But Teofimo's done more than any other of his contemporaries, any other young guys. You know, he went and fought the pound for pound number one guy, and he won, and he beat him, and he dominated him in the fight. Ryan's stepping up this weekend in Texas. It's a good step up, but it's not as big of a step up as Teofimo did against Lomachenko. Tank, you know, who's Tank fought so far at this point? They've been good challenges, but it hasn't been anybody pound for pound or honestly anybody that's ranked top 3 at lightweight or top 5 at lightweight. Leo, who moved up in weight to fight him. And then before that, Gamboa, let's be honest, Gamboa hasn't really done anything since the Crawford loss. Devin Haney had fought the mandatory that he was supposed to fight, won the title, but since then he fought Gamboa. You know, so out of all those guys, Teofimo has risen to the occasion. He took a chance. He fought not only the top guy in his division, but prior to that, the number 2 guy in Richard Comey as well. So he's taken on the top guys consistently in the last 2 fights, and you know, it paid off big for him. Big risk, big reward. You know, it could have blown up in his face. But you know, he chose to strive for greatness, and he chose to. Here's the other thing, you know, Oscar's always said this to the younger guys: don't worry about the money. Don't worry about how much so and so is making. Okay, the money is going to eventually come to you if you just keep winning. and you beat the guys that are at the top. You beat the guys that people want to see you fight. The money will come because at that point, people are going to start recognizing you. This guy is the number one in the sport. This guy fights the best. I want to pay to see him because he's legit. He's the truth. He's a true competitor. So with that, when you compare Teofimo's win over Lomachenko compared to Tyson Fury's win over Deontay Wilder, Lomachenko rated a lot higher than Deontay Wilder in terms of what that means, what weight that carries. A win over Wilder or a win over Lomachenko, one of which pound for pound number one. The other was a WBC heavyweight champion, one of the most dangerous, powerful punchers ever in the history of boxing, but he had his vulnerabilities. We've seen it in the first fight that Fury, more or less, I felt Fury won the first fight, outboxed Deontay Wilder. We know that there's limitations there to Wilder's skill set. He's not the most technically complete fighter. And this is not hearsay. It's just, this is what people have said about him for the longest time. And when you were ranking the heavyweights, he wasn't number one in the heavyweight division, even though a lot of people felt he was the number one heavyweight in the division. Obviously with Joshua having all the belts, a lot of people have him as number one. Teofimo beat number one pound for pound. That to me is an accomplishment all in so, and for him to do that at 23 years old as well. It outweighs anything that Tyson Fury did, to be honest. And Lomachenko is a lot more complete fighter than Deontay Wilder, which gives them even more weight. So I don't think they should have shared it. To me, it didn't make sense why they're sharing the fighter of the year. It should solely be Teofimo Lopez, and I think it kind of, in a way, diminishes the weight of that accomplishment that he had this year. I don't know what the ring's reasoning is for giving them co-fighter. I don't know. I haven't read the issue. I don't know if they explained as to why they're making it co-fighter of the year. Obviously, it's a big accomplishment what Fury did against Wilder. No one was expecting him to knock out the knockout puncher, but in that fight, there still had a lot of people that said, Wilder can win. Maybe Wilder will win. It's still a dangerous fight. You flip that with Teofimo, majority of people said, Teo's not going to win. Lomachenko's going to school this kid. He's not going to win. No way. It's too early for them. Too much, too soon for him. Not going to happen. We're all wrong. Everyone's wrong. And that's why he should be fighter of the year. That's why he shouldn't be co-fighter of the year. That's why there's so much more weight on that win over Vasily Lomachenko than Tyson Fury's win over Deontay Wilder. High and Low Sports, Zintrum. What's up, man? Thank you for supporting the channel and using the super chat. Rain of facts. It's actually raining out here in California right now, in Southern California, which is really weird. We had thunderstorms. So thank you for that, man. Everybody, let's go ahead and press the like button. Let's get them likes up. And if you want to support the channel, use the super chat, give you a shout out right here, right away. What's up, Micah? As well, if you're listening the first time here, just make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media at FightHubTV, at FightHubTV on Twitter and Instagram, at FightHubTV, and follow me as well at Hey, it's Marcos V. Marcos, NWO or DX? NWO for life. It's a huge fan of the NWO. Bro, it's raining like crazy here in South LA. I saw that it was snowing in La Mirada, which is nuts. Because La Mirada is like not even there's like no elevation in La Mirada. Just too sweet. Or this. Hey, yo. I love the NWO. I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. It snowed in La Mirada, which is crazy. Because La Mirada is close to sea level. Paul Newman, what's up, bro? What's the deal with crack streams? A lot of things, a lot of fights from the States aren't shown here in the UK, and crack streams an essential source. Yeah, you know what's the deal with crack streams? We should all go tweet right now. Let's all go on Twitter, all right, and thank Brendan Schaub, because it's Brendan Schaub's fault that crack streams got taken down. It's his fault. He ratted on it. He put it on his freaking podcast that everybody goes and sees all the streams on crack streams, and he did it with with another one as well. The UFC came and freaking, I don't know what they did, but now it's gone, which sucks. So yeah, it's Brendan Schaub's fault. Tweet him, thanks for ruining crack streams for us, Brendan, and let him have it. Rain in San Diego is a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's cold in San Diego. Loma's smaller than Teofimo. Okay, John. Joe, WTF, I use crack stream. Yeah, crack streams no more. What do you guys use? I'm just kind of curious. Let me know in the comments what you guys use. Because I'm looking for another little, for these other sporting occasions. I'm looking for a site to watch soccer. Yeah. What's up from rainy San Diego? What's going on? Snowing in Laguna Mountain. Manny Pacquiao first rank in the top 50 21st century ranking. Okay. I don't know what you're trying to say there, but yeah. Joe Dirt. Snitch. Yeah, I know. Marco's favorite weight class. Right now, I would say favorite weight class, or I guess the most interesting weight class right now to me, with the most possibilities. No, don't do that, Miguel. That's that would be terrible. I don't want to start any drama with anybody, bro. I'm tired of beefing with people, dog. Everybody beefs in boxing, bro, especially on like the YouTube side, dude. Everybody's beefing with everybody, bro. And I'll tell you why everybody's beefing. It's two things, okay? And I've always told people this, and I've always been consistent with it. It's two things. Ego. People think they're bigger than what they are. They think they're better than people. They have egos. And Joe, thank you for that. I'm going to remember that. That better be money. The second thing, yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, girl? Sportsnista. She has a YouTube. Check her YouTube out as well. Follow her as well. That her right here. The Sportsnista is the same thing on Instagram. So go ahead and follow her. She does good work. First is ego. Second, greed. Greed. And I'll tell you why it's greed. Because everybody's trying to make money on YouTube. I was lucky to fall into YouTube on the ground floor. Not the ground floor, but very early on. But I got introduced to other YouTubers that went to the YouTube space and met other YouTubers and seen how the YouTube community is as a whole outside of boxing. Everybody's collaborative. Everybody gets along. Everybody supports each other. And it's not like they diss on each other's content because they know that there's more than enough for everybody. But in boxing, it's not like that. You got people that feel that they should be making all the money. They should be getting everything, that there's not enough for everybody. It's only enough for them. There's enough for everybody. YouTube, you're in competition with yourself. You're creating content for you. And that's really what it is you're in competition with yourself. So Dirty Harry, you're hilarious. Marcos, why haven't you gotten married to Dirty Harold? Make my day, Dirty Harold. The biggest beef in boxing is Spence versus Crawford. Will they ever fight? Bradley doesn't think it will happen. I saw. Oh, High and Low. What's up, bro? Thank you. Another one. Reign of Facts. Yo. Jesus Ramos of the future. We posted a video of this last. No. That was Omar Juarez. Jesus Ramos. That is the prospect to watch at 140 pounds. Jesus Ramos. He fought over the weekend for Fox. Dude is freakishly big for the weight. He is someone to watch. I think he has 14 wins, 13 knockouts. Well, he just won again, so 15 wins, 14 knockouts. Keep your eye out and remember that name, Jesus Ramos Jr. Reign of Facts. High and Low. Sports Trum, what's up? Great matchup. Nice. I think he's sick too. Who you got? Ramirez or Taylor? Boxing YouTube are racist and biased. Pacquiao versus Spence. Man, okay, hold on. Let me get to all these. Ryan is winning the fight, but I think it won't be as lopsided as most people think. Who wins between Ryan and Campbell? We said that earlier. I gave you a little breakdown, so if you want to rewind. Everything horror. How's your night, man? It's going well. Can't wait to go work out. Let's see. Marcos, will you be at the Ryan Garcia fight? No, I'm not going to be there. Raul, what was your question? Put it back on there. Who wins, Spence or Crawford? It's 50-50 at this point. A lot of things that Crawford does can give Spence trouble and vice versa. as well. You think Teofimo is the top fighter of the year? Yeah, I did. Pray for Creasy. Rewind. I'll give you. I stated my reasoning as to why I gave Teofimo fighter of the year and why he shouldn't have been co-fighter of the year. Should have just been fighter of the year. So rewind it. I'm saying rewind it. Go back, and you'll see my reasoning. Let's get some more likes, guys. Let's get up to 75 likes. What about Rolando Romero? I don't know, man. Every time I see Rolly on live, he's eating. It's not a good thing. He's always eating. He looks like he's kind of like got a little bit like puffed up a little bit, but he's always eating. That's not good, man. Every time I see him on live, he's eating. Yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. All right, Spence versus Crawford. Like I mentioned, Crawford, I feel, can give Spence a lot of trouble. Switch hitter, orthodox southpaw, has very long reach, very, very smart. He's a counter puncher. He'll wait. He's constantly trying to track your movements. What he did with Carol Brook, where he timed that punch over the jab, was he had been waiting for that. He'd been timing that. He'd been looking for that punch. So you got to think, the early rounds, he's not going to do much. He's in there just kind of studying, kind of waiting to see what Errol does. Obviously, Errol's bigger than Crawford, more active, throws more punches. So it could end up being a thing where the volume, because Errol's throwing so much and he's so active and he's the one pressing forward and he's popping that jab, could end up being a Spence night because of that. But obviously we all want to see it. And you're right, Errol is a monster. How many miles does my car have? What kind of question is that, bro? I don't. Well, we're not driving to a lot of these fights. Dirty Harold. I'm not going to tell you what kind of car I have. I have multiple cars. Let's see here. Latest one, Bernie. I don't know what that means, bro. I don't know what that means. Yes, Rolando Romero. That's what I meant. Lopez deserves it. Lopez fighter of the year. Salute to Fido. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that, bro. Jamal's jab would put that cinnamon uncomfortable. Yeah, it would. Canelo has trouble with the jab, too. He's always had trouble with guys that have a good jab. So, I feel you on that. It's a hard fight for Canelo. I'm not saying it's not. Both guys can win that fight. The area of concern for me is on the inside. If Canelo chooses to fight and he's able to dictate the fight in the close range. We haven't seen a lot of opponents try to do that with Charlo, obviously because of Charlo's power. But I'm thinking Canelo might be able to handle that power. What's going to happen there on the inside? How is Charlo going to respond to that? So that's something that I would be very interested to see how Charlo's able to adjust to something like that. Marcos, name the favorite boxing movie. Rocky, a Southpaw, Raging Bull, Creed, the one about Vinny Paz, the fighter. Out of those ones, Raging Bull is a good movie, but it's dated. Southpaw was really sad. There's some parts of that movie that were sad, emotional. I would say Rocky or the fighter. Those were two really good ones. Rocky 4. I'll ask you guys this. What's the best Rocky in your opinion? Let me know. Put it down. What's the best Rocky? Rocky 1, the original, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, or Rocky Balboa? Rocky 6. Jeez, there's Rocky 6. Man. Who do you guys have as the best Rocky? Yeah. Canelo countering time got better. Yes, it did. 3. Rocky 3. Rocky 2. What's up, Arm? Raging Bull, goated. Rocky 4. Chadburn, Rocky 1, Rocky 2. So far, Rocky 2 is in the lead. Rambo. I'm John Rambo. Rocky 4, just for the training scenes. Creed. I thought Creed was good. Creed was good. The second Creed was no good. That was a terrible movie. It was bad. It was funny. I tweeted that Creed 2 was a bad movie, and Andre Ward tweeted me back. He was like, "What the heck, bro? You didn't think it was good?" And I was like, "Whoa, I didn't think the movie was good. I thought you were good in the movie." High and Low, what's up? High and Low, thank you for that super chat. Thank you for that. You guys want to support the channel, please use the super chat. Rocky 2. Damn, Rocky 2. A lot of you guys think Rocky 2 is the best Rocky movie? I like Rocky 2, but I just felt overall the story in Rocky 4 was a lot better. It moved a lot better. The action was a lot better. The action flowed a lot better. There was a lot more drama there. There was a lot more at stake there in Rocky 4. Marco Galindo, thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that. Marcos, are you ever going to come to the UK? I would like to come to the UK, but it's a big expense on my part, and things aren't kind of on level playing field over there in the UK in terms of access we get for media stuff. Rocky 2 with Mr. T. I pity the fool. Pity the fool. Thunderlips. Oh, Thunderlips Rocky 3. That's right. He should have paid Chuck Wepner more money up front. Hell yeah, Mick was calling him a bum. Rocky 2 with Mr. T. Raging Bull was more of a psychological movie showing the troubled mind and brute force of Yake. Marcos, what's the word on Fight Night? Just got a PS5. I feel like we need a new one. Yeah, we do need a new one, man. But the only way we get a new boxing video game is we collectively as a community tell EA Sports we want a video game, and it starts becoming a thing where they can't tweet anything without hearing about an EA Fight Night. They can't do anything without hearing an EA Fight Night. We all really got to band together and gang up on them and tell them, like, yo, we need another EA Fight Night, man. Imagine now the EA Fight Night, that should be lit, bro. Have all the new guys, Teo, Ryan, Tank, Devin, all these new guys, Canelo, along with all the old guys. Man, the Fight Night now would be fire. That would be fire. Oh, my goodness. So, it's really, we just got to let them know. I had a conversation with those guys years ago at E3, and I asked them, like, hey, why don't you guys have a Fight Night? And they told me really because the UFC game sold more. That's why, and it was easier for them to make a UFC game because boxing's so fragmented. Virgil Ortiz on Fight Night as well, So, I wish Bernie start the Fight Night petition. I think Eddie Hearn tried to do something like that. But it's going to take all of us just consistently just pressure, and even telling the fighters, telling the promoters to all get behind it, because they're the ones that, they have money, they have influence. They can go to an EA and be like, yo, we need an EA game. And it just starts compounding like a snowball effect. So it has to be where it's on everybody's mind that, hey, we need a new EA Fight Night game. That's the only way it happens. The only way it happens is we all band together and really gang up. How's the Valentino doing? Valentino. Marcos, when you back on that PBC show? I scored last Saturday's fights with, what's his face? David Morrell, super middleweight. Dude, keep your eye on David Morrell. 168, Cuban standout, had over 400 amateur fights. This kid is freaking good. He's really, really good. He has an interim title at super middleweight, one of the WBA's many titles. But forget the titles, because we know Canelo is the real champ at 168 pounds. But keep your eye on this kid. This kid is going to be really, really good. He's going to be challenging these guys in about like 2 years, I feel. 2 years, you're really going to start hearing his name. David Morrell Jr. He just fought on Saturday on Fox for us. He knocked the guy out again, but legit blue chip top prospect at this point. Reminds me of Mayweather Sr. telling Chad Dawson he was going to get KO'd by Edemek back in the day and won anyway. Salute to Virgil Ortiz. Was Virgil Ortiz here on the chat? If he is, what's up, Virgil? What's going on, bro? Netflix will create a movie of Manny Pacquiao. They already did. Kid Kalafu, I believe, is the movie. It's a really, really good movie. It's about Manny's upbringing and his first fights. Kid Kalafu. I've seen it on Netflix. I don't know how much of it is real or true, but it's a pretty good movie. I used to have the one with De La Hoya on the cover. Will you show us your 2021 Charger Hellcat wide body? I don't have a Charger Hellcat wide body. Or do I? I don't know. Everybody can go up and fight Virgil Ortiz. They just scared to lose. You're going to Ryan Garcia versus Campbell. No, I'm not. I'm staying here. I don't want to go to Texas. Texas is too crazy right now. Ryan G versus Virgil Ortiz. 10-pound difference. 2 weight classes there. I don't think that'll happen. How did you celebrate Christmas? By opening presents, bro. What do you expect? Santeno, yeah, they different division, but you can cut or gain to fight the best. Marcos, who is your best fighter? Pound for pound, my number one fighter in the world right now is. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your guys' number one pound for pound fighter? List your number one right now. Let me see what you guys have. Well, I'll take a. Yeah, Texas is too lit for my liking. Texas is the Wild West right now. Well, I take a sip of my Mountain Dew. Do the Dew, Mountain Dew. Feel energized for your workouts and daily living. Drink Mountain Dew. Do the Dew. Not getting paid whatsoever by Mountain Dew. But maybe it's probably just as bad as an energy drink. I drink Mountain Dew as an energy drink because I know it has a lot of caffeine in it, but not as much as the Red Bulls. Virgil would end Ryan's career if they ever fight. That's if they ever fight. Their weight divisions, 10 pounds. $1 Million Baby, very underrated boxing movie. It's very, very right, Paul. Texas is too lit. No one wears mask over there. Oh, yeah, that dude was good. $1 Million Baby is dank as F. Jamal is the real dog. Wow, wow, wow. Remember Perro Angulo? Wow, 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 wow. Every time Perro would fight, I thought it was funny. One, he'd come out with the collar. But two, you'd see these like, and I could say this because I'm Mexican, all right? You'd see people that look like my uncles or my cousins, like big old fat potbelly Mexicans. And, you know, they're drunk as hell, and they're just chanting, wow, 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 wow. And I always thought it was the funniest freaking thing. I'm like, you grown-ass Mexican guy, potbelly, going wow, wow, wow. And, you know, like if you have to ask a Mexican, how does a dog sound? They're not going to go woof, woof. They're going to go wow, 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 wow. Because that's just how we say it. Yeah, I always thought it was a really strange thing. It would crack me up too, because every time you fight, you'd hear wow, 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 wow. Dallas, Texas people, have you seen Berlanga live, and how good is he? How would he do versus Charlo? Not seen Berlanga live. I've only seen him on TV. He hasn't stepped up yet, but I have a feeling he's going to be really, really good. In terms of Charlo's not at 168 yet. Charlo might be a little too experienced for Berlanga at this point, but Berlanga is a very heavy-handed puncher. He just needs to step up. And, you know, they're doing what they should be doing. They're building Berlanga up. You know, a lot of times we see these young guys get pushed too early. And sometimes it pays off, like Teofimo Lopez. Sometimes it doesn't pay off, like a Fernando Vargas, like a Victor Ortiz. You know, if I were managing fighters, I would tell them, chill. We're building you. We're building you. And I think that's what they're doing with Berlanga. They're building him, which is good. You know, build him, create that aura of a monster that nobody wants to fight him, the aura of this one-punch knockout machine. Build something like that, because you can market something like that. And once you market something like that, the people become enamored with it. They want to know, like, oh, can this guy take this dude's punch? Is he going to survive the first round? That's what's going to sell the tickets. That's what's going to get people wanting to see him fight. So keep doing what they're doing. Yeah, we all want to see him step up. We all want to see him get challenged. But if I'm his management, I'm telling him, yo, pump the brakes, kid. You know what we're doing here? We're building you. This is a process. There's no shortcuts. You know, always the easiest, quickest route to money is not the most fruitful. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. You got to trust the process. And I think with him or any other young guy, trust the process. The money will come if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're training, you're dedicated, you're beating the guys you're supposed to be beating, and you're challenging yourself the way you're supposed to be challenging, those paydays are going to come at some point or another. And they're going to be a heck of a lot more than if you just go the easy, the quick route, because it could be a situation where it's too early, too soon, and you end up taking a loss, and then you got to rebuild from the beginning. And that cuts into your bottom line. That cuts into how much money you make. That cuts into your purses, because promoters use that against you, you know, because it's always a constant struggle between promoter and manager. Promoter wants, I don't want to say they want to pay you less, but, you know, they're looking to make money too. Manager, obviously looking on behalf of the fighter. They're trying to get more money, and it's always a constant negotiation, a constant tug and pull there. All right. I have Canelo number one, pound for pound. That's how I have it. Do I drink beer or liquor? Here comes out. He comes out with the choker. Yeah, he does. I drink liquor. I'm not a big beer. Gets me freaking messed up like crazy. So I'll tell you why Canelo, to me, is number one pound for pound. It's just what he's done. Okay, the body of work, the guys that he's fought and beaten. I think a lot of people put Crawford number one pound for pound because of the skills he possesses, and rightfully so. Dude is supremely talented. If you were to put Canelo against Crawford, and where weight didn't matter, and it wouldn't make a point in a fight, and you would say, like, between a fight, Canelo and Crawford, who would win, who has the more skills, a lot of people would pick Crawford. But you also got to put into account, what has the guy done? Who has he beaten? I don't want to say the ranking of the people that have beaten, but like, what have those people done too in the past? Like, who are these opponents that they faced? It's not Crawford's fault. He hasn't faced a lot of top guys at 147 pounds. He cleaned out 140, became undisputed, but that was a while ago. Canelo consistently, and he's moved up from 160, 168, 175, challenged and faced the top guys in his division. No one else has taken the risk that Canelo has taken. No one else has moved 2 weight classes to challenge a champion. Yeah, okay, I know. He's a faded guy. He was a faded Sergey Kovalev. We're going to see how faded he is, though, in this next fight that he has with Beck the Bully. But no one else is doing that. No one else is then moving back down to 168 and taking on the number one guy and just whitewashing him, just beat the crap out of him, made him look like he didn't belong in there with Canelo. No one else is doing that. Prior to that, at 160, Canelo faced the number one guy in Gennady Golovkin. Okay. Yes, I understand Golovkin was a little bit past his prime. So that fight was a little late, a year or two late. Golovkin was still ranked number one. So fought and beat the number one at 160. Fought and beat the number one at 168. Fought at 175, a division that's not even his, where he was the smaller guy, went in and knocked out a bigger guy. Come on, bros. Come on, guys. Come on. Who else is doing that? Look at the guys that Canelo's beaten. Cotto, Mosley, Golovkin, Jacobs. Who else? There's too many. If you look at his resume, how many of those guys are Hall of Famers? How many of those guys current or former world champions? It's not even close. It's not even close. Canelo, number one pound for pound. Because, you know why? Because Canelo was born ready, my friends. All right, let's get back to more questions. Stop saying it's not Crawford's fault. He resigned with Top Rank. It's not Crawford's fault because it takes 2 to tango. That's why. Obviously, they want the fights. They want the fights. It takes 2 to tango, man. It takes 2 to tango. Canelo a beast, though. He is. As somebody, Bellew says, that in itself is sus. Who you got for trainer of the year? Good question. All right, so I know a lot of people have put out for Eddie Reynoso to be trainer of the year. Got to see what has Eddie Reynoso done this year with his fighters. Eddie Reynoso this year has a win with Canelo, winning the number one 168-pounder. Ryan Garcia had a knockout win earlier in the year. Oscar Valdez had a good, solid win over an opponent that was más o menos, didn't do anything with Andy Ruiz this year. Frank Sanchez is still a building prospect. He had, I think, a couple wins. He had a few fights in 2020. Showed up on the DAZN card, which was weird. I thought Frank was a PBC fighter, to be honest. So, he's accomplished a lot. But to me, the trainer of the year is Derek James. To me, Derek James is the trainer of the year. One, trained Charlo, made him pretty much the man at 154 pounds. Pretty much. He has 2, not undisputed. I was going to think undisputed, but they're not undisputed. 2 unified champions currently that he trains and that have won fights. Charlo beating Rosario, okay, and then trained Spence from his accident to beat Danny Garcia. Two unified champions. To me, he should be trainer of the year. Trainer of the year with that. But I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Eddie Reynoso. Certainly, Eddie's done a lot, but I think the only big accomplishment Eddie's had this year with his fighter has been Canelo. Oh, okay. The little guy, Ray Martinez or Julio Cesar Martinez. You know, he had a dominant year. Problem is that a lot of people don't give the little guys weight because they're little guys, you know. So, you know, maybe Eddie is deserving of that. But for me personally, I think, you know, the wins with Charlo and taking Spence to what happened to where he is now and getting that win over Danny, to me, Derek James should be a trainer of the year. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. My name is Eddie Money. Okay. Derek James. Okay. Few of you guys are agreeing with me. Someone put out Robert Garcia. I'm seeing here. Let's see. I'm going to go up. The INJ or INI. Hi, Fight Hub. Hi. Upcoming young prospect, Barrientos, knocked out on PBC. Poor kid. He was devastated. Hope he rebounds from that knockout. Yeah, it was a bad knockout. Thing is, he pulled back with his hands down. That's what happened. He got caught. That other kid, though, was 3-0 with 2 knockouts. So I remember when I saw the bout sheet, he was Barrientos was 4-0, 3 knockouts. And I saw this other kid from Tuscaloosa, and he was 3-0, 2 knockouts. And I was like, that's interesting. This guy has power too. Barrientos won every round until he got caught in the last round. I think it was in the 3rd round that he got caught. But, you know, he's young. Let's see him. Let's see if he can bounce back. His brother fought earlier that night. He got the win. Who smokes more marijuana, Chavez or Berlanga? I don't know. I didn't know Berlanga smoked the stickiest of the icky. I didn't know he liked the Mary Jane. I didn't know he was a connoisseur of the reefer. I didn't know that. I don't think Chavez Jr. smokes anymore, to be honest. I think he's like sobered up for like the last few months. He did an interview with some guy that's dressed up as a monkey. He has like this monkey mask on. The guy's hilarious. He made his dad like pissed off because he asked him about the little TikTok video, the taka taka tak, taka taka tak, taka taka tak, and like Chavez Sr. got freaking angry. And I know that's like a big taboo subject with Chavez Sr. Like, don't talk about Chavez Jr. because he gets really, really touchy when you ask him questions about Chavez Jr. He like the switch goes like that when you do that. So, high and low, what's up, man? Thank you for that. The Ring have Junior Lopez. DAZN needs a good, better, yet an excellent Spanish translator inside the ring for Mexican fighters. I nominate you, Marcos. My Spanish is not on Ernesto Amador's level. He's a native Spanish speaker. The problem with translating is you need someone who's fluent in English. I don't think he's super fluent in English. That's where he's having trouble. And translating is a hard job, man. It's a really hard job. You're having to remember what they say and then translating everything word for word. It's a muscle that you have to condition, and you have to work out, and you have to rep. So I know he's getting a lot of criticism, but it's a really, really hard job to do, especially in that situation as well. When you got your producer in your ear too, telling you like, "Hey, wrap it up," or ask him about this. You're hearing something in your ear, and you're listening to Canelo or what he's saying. You know, you lose track of stuff. It's a tough job. Hook me up to translate. Tweet them. Tweet DAZN. Who do you like better, Coogan or Rob Turvitt? Who the heck's Rob Turvitt? I'm not sure who that is. The woman did good at the post-fight presser. Yes, she did. She did. Chavez Sr.'s one miserable person. Oh, man. At Junior, when isn't Chavez Sr. mad? I know. You know who needs weed? Chavez Sr. He needs weed in his life. Jeez, man. That guy, amargado a veces. Jesus. He snores. Who snores? Who snores? I want to know who snores. Who snores? Who's snoring? Chavez or Logan? For sure Logan, bro. You deserve a full-time spot, Marcos. You're keeping boxing alive. Hey, man, I try, dog. Translating is a skill. Yes, it is. Chupacabras. Seen any chupacabras? He's on Boxing Social. Oh, it's Rob Tebbit. Hit the like button. Yes, let's get to 100. Um, I haven't really talked a lot to Rob. You know, he's really quiet. He's a quiet guy. You know, he comes in and does his job, and then he leaves. He's focused. So I don't have anything bad to say about Rob or Coogan. I interact a little bit more with Coogan. I see him, I say hi and stuff like that, but he's pretty focused with what he's doing as well. And when we're working, especially me too, when I'm working, I'm like in the freaking zone, man. Like a lot of people may think like I'm ignoring them, but I'm not. I'm just hyper focused on like what I have to do and what I got to get done, because it's a very fast paced, high stress situation, finding stuff, getting content and editing it and uploading it really, really quick. So I'm like tunnel zone when I'm working at these events as well. So I don't have a lot of time to talk to a lot of people. Did you talk about the arse whooping Kirkland took? A little bit, man. Jeez, that was hard to watch, man. Oh, poor Jaime Kirkland, man. He just he can't take the punches like he used to, man. Someone needs to step in there, unless this fight was like for a payday, and they knew. But someone needs to step in there and tell him, like, you know what, James, for the sake of your health, probably should not fight. You just can't take the punches like you used to. If you can't compete at the highest level, what's the point of taking more and more punches that could end up affecting your health detrimentally when you're older? No money in the world is worth that, because what point is that money if you can't enjoy it? If you're not 100% healthy, it's no point. There's no point. That's the other thing you guys should need to know as well, that enjoy the fruits of your labor, man. There's no point in working so hard if you don't enjoy your money. You're so busy working. You have to enjoy your money. You enjoy what you've worked hard for. Make it a priority to check out for a little bit, to recharge. Because sometimes you get so inundated with work, so caught up with the day-to-day operations of stuff that you got to do, that you forget to really relax and appreciate stuff and take it all in. I'm guilty of this. I haven't had a vacation in like 4 years, man, to be honest. Marco's bringing a chick to read the comments on your live. If I could figure out how to do that, I would. If I could figure out how to have another person on here with me, I would. If I could figure out how to have you guys call live, I would. So yeah. Hurricane Hank, what are you talking about, bruh? What are you talking about? But yeah, enjoy the fruits of your labors. Enjoy the money. Let's see here. What do I think about the beef? I saw a thing here. Where'd it go? Someone asked me about the beef between Michelle and Rob. Where'd that comment go? Well, I don't know what had happened to that, but I'm aware of it. The back and forth that they had on Twitter. They used to work for each other. That's I know. Like, I don't talk to Michelle as much as I used to when she was first in the game. Me and her were a lot closer. We used to talk all the time. We used to see each other all the time. Not as much anymore. I hardly hear from her now. So I don't really know about all that. All I know is that Rob used to work for Michelle. Something happened. Rob decided to go his own way with the Boxing Social stuff, and I know that there's some resentment there on both ends. So that's all really what I know. Marcos, let me cut your hair for sure, dude. Where are you at? If you're here in the SoCal area, let me know, because I do need a haircut. Most boxing channels upload the same exact vids. Slim pickings right now, because we're not allowed to go to the gyms, bro. We're not allowed to go to the game. You ever make a move, she thick. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. You guys are funny. Have you seen the video of Berlanga getting knocked down? City of Bell, but I'll travel. Let me know where your place is at in Bell, bro. Send us a DM on Fight Hub on the Instagram account. I saw the video of Berlin getting knocked down, but it's an amateur fight, bro. This happened years ago. Come on, man. It's because he got knocked. Bro, your favorite fighter, all of them have been hurt or knocked down in sparring. All of them. I almost guarantee you 110%. All of them have been knocked down. All of them have been hurt. All of them have been messed up at one point or the other. You know, it happens. That's what happens. He was 18, though. Yeah, you just don't grow. Sometimes you get caught with a perfect punch, bro. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see when he steps up in competition if that's true. And if it is true, then we all can say, you know what? We knew this. Look at what happened. We saw the video of him getting rocked as an amateur. Johnny Tapia documentary. I've seen it. It was awesome. Johnny Tapia was a crazy guy. There's a book out of Johnny Tapia by Hamilcar Noor, which is excellent. Check it out. It's a really, really good book to read. It's not the Mi Vida Loca book. It's another one. It's a shorter book, but this guy Tapia was nuts. The guy was crazy, man. How was the PBC bubble? I wasn't in the bubble for this last fight. I was in a different zone. Boxing Babes 2021 calendar. I know, right? Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go, Boxing Babes. Marcos and Coogan are the two top boys. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Luis Neighborhood able to take 2 punches. Silvestre Salomao, 2011. What's up, bro? Marcos, do you smoke weed? No, I don't smoke weed at all. Rocky 4 is the best Rocky. I agree with you, man. Will the rematch Tank versus Leo happen? God, I hope not, man. I hope not. I was kind of like, Leo, what are you talking about, dude? He knocked you out pretty bad. He's just bigger than you, man. You know, your punches weren't having any effect on him. He's walking you down. Not a good idea for him to rematch him. I hope they don't do that to him. Please. No, don't do that. Are you going to interview Ryan this week? I hope so. Actually, thank you for reminding me. I got to follow up with him. I'm actually going to write this on my notes, on my little pending things here. Follow up for Ryan interview. Boom. Thank you for that. Reminding me. Why not Body try to fight Loma? Because they're scared to lose. That's why. The Ghost of Johnny Tapia. There you go, Paul. Yeah. Ghost Johnny Tapia. Check that book out. That is a great book. Salute to the Wildcard Boxing team. Yes, love the guys over there at Wildcard. You think there'll be any WBC backlash ever? Teofimo said F. Suleiman. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. At the end of the day, they try to be cool with everybody. I don't think there'll be backlash at all. They get criticized all the time. They're used to it. No. Marcos, do you eat weed? Nah, I've never had an edible ever at all. I just sent you a DM. Good stuff, Bernie. I appreciate that. And Coke, no. Different babe every live. And Coke, you're funny, bro. You're funny. That'd be good to have a babe on here. But I don't know how to do these things with 2 people on live. So if somebody can help me out, somebody knows how to do this stuff, where I could have someone else and I can switch, to them so they could be on the live. Please help me out because I'm wanting this live chat to be better as well. Do I secondhand smoke? No, bro. Come on, man. What kind of questions are these? Salute, Mr. Sinister. What's up, man? Mr. Sinister from Marvel Comics. Everybody, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to already. It's been a good live chat. Fight of the year, Zepeda versus Baranchyk for Shizzle. That's fight of the year. Hey, knockout of the year. So there's been a few. A lot of people are placing the Tank knockout as knockout of the year over Leo Santa Cruz. When I look at knockout of the year, I don't think like, what kind of match? Well, a little bit I do. How close of a if it wasn't one side, if the guy wasn't supposed to knock out the guy, I do take that into account. But I think the most important thing for a knockout of the year is the wow factor, the reaction to it, the the impactfulness of the knockout. When you compare Tank Davis's knockout over Leo Santa Cruz compared to the Zepeda knockout, compared to the Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin knockout. That was a bad knockout, and it's heavyweights. Heavyweight knockouts are always going to be like, holy jeez, you know? But I think with the Tank knockout, because there was a crowd there, and that was a brutal freaking knockout. Brutal. It's just, I think really it added to it because of the crowd. If there's any okay, you know how they did co-fighter of the year? There should be co-knockout of the year. Screw the co-fighter of the year. It should just be one fighter of the year, the Teofimo Lopez. Okay? Knockouts of the year, co-knockout of the year. There should have been a co-knockout of the year. It should have been Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, Alexander Povetkin, Dillian White. That's really should have been the co. Henry, what's up, bro? As always, man, I appreciate you always supporting the channel, always coming on here and using the super chat. Show your support for Fight Hub. Show your support for us by using the super chat. Henry Martinez, Marcos, how cool would it be if all boxing was on ESPN and for all the weight classes to have one title, one belt like the UFC? How likely? Never will happen. Snowball's chance in hell. It's just boxing's too fragmented. And you got Top Rank and ESPN, you got Fox and PBC, you got Matchroom and DAZN. Look how fragmented it is. It never happened. It will never happen. The only way it happens, two ways. One, a multi-billionaire comes in and buys everybody out. And they tried that. Tried that with PBC. They tried to get everybody in there, but there's still people that held out, didn't go over to PBC. But if a billionaire comes in and just starts buying everybody up, buys up all the promotions, merges, buys up promotions, merges, and it's all under one banner. Or there's more government oversight on it. You know, there's a national commission, and the national commission comes out with ratings, and they mandate fighters to fight. You know, that'll start taking away the importance of the sanctioning bodies, because they're going to be like, well, shoot, the national commission has me rated as number one and has this guy rated number two, and they're wanting us to fight. It's the national commission, the governing board of boxing now. You know, that'll outweigh the sanctioning bodies, and the sanctioning bodies will be a thing of the past. But that's not likely as well either. I don't think we'll ever see a national boxing commission, but that's one way I think they could go about it. The other way is, if some rich guy comes and buys out all the sanctioning bodies, but that'll never happen as well, because the people that run these sanctioning bodies make a lot of money off of running the sanctioning bodies. You know, with their sanctioning fees, their super belts, the regular belts. So that'll never happen. They're never going to want to take their bread and butter away, how they make a living, unless it's a big, huge payment for their sanctioning body. But that'll never happen at all, ever. Teofimo Fighter of the Year, yep. Is Andy taking training seriously, or is he trying to be a YouTube star too much? Hey, he can do both, man. He can do both. Marcos, I am going to show you how to do it. I got you, bro. Thank you, Edward. I don't know what you're referring to, but I hope it's something safe and good. I hope Andy is taking training serious. He's in Vegas right now training. Andy was actually on the live chat last week, which is pretty cool. Salute, Leo. Yes. Once the sanctioning bodies can't collect their fees, there will be blood on the streets. Question: fantasy fight, Canelo Alvarez or Carlos Monzon? Yeah, man, that's apples and oranges, man. The athletes now are so much better than they were before. They're quicker, faster, stronger. Monzon had a crazy knockout streak, crazy middleweight title defenses, had a rocket. He had power, dude. He had bricks for hands. You know, Canelo, it's apples and oranges. But, I favor a lot of the guys now compared to the fighters of 30 years ago, 40 years ago, because they're better athletes now. And those guys from before paved the way for them in terms of skills and showing them how to do things. It's just the knowledge increases year after year after year as well. Salute to a national boxing commission. Yeah, we can only hope, bro. We can only hope. Who's the best sanctioning body? They're all got their problems, man. They all got their problems. But I could say this with honesty: the WBC does do the most for fighters. That is beyond a doubt. I've seen it with my own eyes. they do the most with fighters in terms of looking after fighters, in terms of charitable contributions, um, in terms of seeing where those funds go from the sanctioning fees. They have a fund for fighters at will. I don't know how much the stipend is. I think it's like 500, 600. I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I don't see the IBF, the WBA, the WBO doing any of this stuff even close to what the WBC does. So for me, the WBC, even though I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they do sometimes in terms of, franchise title, the trinkets, giving the belts to Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they do the most for the fighters. Though I'm not a big fan of the sanctioning bodies as a whole, to be honest, as well. Is Rolly delusional? I don't know. What are you referring to? Carlos Monzon beats Canelo. He's dead. First off, watch Monzon on Netflix. It's a good series. Very, very good series. And then read the book, too, as well. Monzon was not a good guy. Not a good guy. He was a big sack of, big sack. He was a piece of also as well for what he did. Salute to Roberto Duran. Yes, I love Roberto Duran. First Bridgerweight world champion of 2021. That's me. I'm coming for the Bridgerweight title. Bridgerweight. Man, this Bridgerweight thing. I don't know. Part of me, I understand the reasoning. The reasoning is because, there's a discrepancy with size amongst the heavyweights. You got the smaller heavyweights and then you got the super heavyweights all in one division. So they felt that, maybe this is a solution to that. But I don't know. It's a weird name. I understand where the name came from. Why didn't you just make a super heavyweight division? Bridgerweight's weird. I know the bridge to heavyweight. Yeah, I get it. But I'm not a fan. Just, make another weight division. Does the WBC really have a board of directors, or is that BS? No, they have a board of directors. I've been in those meetings. Suleiman says the decisions are made by the WBC are voted by the board of directors. Meetings in Hawaii and Cancun. Yes. I was there at the last WBC convention in Mexico, and they do have a board of I want to say 12 or 15 people, and they're voting on stuff, and they're from different regions of the world and everything like that. So that's not BS, because I've actually seen them conduct their meetings as well. Marcos, do you think boxing is corrupt? Yes, boxing is corrupt in certain aspects. Are fights fixed? We don't know. The only way to fix a fight is between the guy that wants something fixed and the athlete. That's the only way you can get away with it now. There's no other way you can get away with it. That's the only way, unless it's the provocateur and a judge. They go to a judge and be like, hey, here's a big old bag of money. What I do think, though, that a lot of sports in general are corrupt. Sonteo, thank you for that. Yeah, no problem, bro. Divine Vision is saying all sports corrupt. Yeah. You ever wonder, and I always wonder this, and it's my first instinct, okay? Watching a basketball game, a football game, and someone doesn't make a play, or someone does some stupid thing that you're like, how the hell did you do that? Why did you do that? Where it looks almost like they intentionally did something to change the outcome of the game. They missed a pass that they should have, that 10 times out of 10 they catch. They do something so ridiculous. When something like that happens, I always think, this dude betted on himself. This dude bet on the other team for the odds to change the outcome of the game. That's my first initial thing when something like that happens, because there's so much money involved. The athletes know there's so much money involved, and the athletes bet. They bet. I don't know how much so in boxing, but in the other sports, they bet, And I always thought, dude, when they mess up when I'm playing, I'm like, this fool betted on the other team. This guy's betting on the odds. He wants to make sure he gets his payout. So that's just me. I might be a little paranoid, but for sure, I think that stuff happens for sure. Kovalev didn't take a dive, bro. He got knocked the F out. Come on, dude. You guys ass whooped by the Nello. All right, guys, I got to go get my workout in. Man, the last live chat of 2020. Be safe. New Year's is this Thursday. Try not to get too crazy. Try to be safe. You know, let's focus all our positive energy for 2021. Let's make it a good year. But more or less, you got to be positive because only you can change your situation. And that's the only way that we can't do anything about this coronavirus crap. All right. But what we can do is we can control how we go about it. We can control what we do with the situation that we're in. And we can make the decision, a conscious decision to be like, you know what? I'm not going to let this thing kick me down. I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to rise above. That's what we can do. So 2021, the year that we hit 1 million subs, disappointed we didn't get to it here in 2020. Thank you, Ms. Sinister. Anybody else who's on here that isn't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, please, as well. The first live chat of 2021 happens next Monday, 5:35, live chat next Monday, 5:35, live chat next Monday, 5:35, live chat. So everybody, love you guys. Have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great rest of the year for 2020. Don't get too litty. Be careful out there. Be safe. A lot of people got freaking COVID that I know this last week, so be careful. The Rona's out there and coming for you. Thank you guys. Happy New Year. Wish you guys all the best. Wish you guys all prosperity. Wish you all guys big bags of money. When is the next live chat? Next Monday, 5:35. Next live chat next Monday, 5:35. All right, guys, I got to go get my swole on. Happy New Year, everybody. Peace out. Much love. Thank you so much, guys. Take it easy.